Alright, got the big 143 pound Snake Eater Performance injectors. I'm putting those on the car. I believe they're 142, 143, something like that. But I already took the Deca 80 pound injectors, put them over there, and I'm just plopping these in. And on these, what I like to do is I lube up these O-rings on the top and the bottom just with some Vaseline, petroleum jelly. Vaseline is a brand. Anyway, yeah, that top O-ring. And then these fit a little tight, so I carefully wiggle it in. And then we'll put it back on. I'm going to change that regulator. That's a $30 Amazon regulator for this $100 Speedmaster regulator. See what a difference that makes. And then, once we get some fittings and lines, we'll be putting that in. I like to put the injectors in the hole and then slide in there all at once. But I knocked the very back one out. And it fell down behind the motor. And it didn't hit the ground. Down back there. I don't see it. And I can't feel it. Y'all see it? I don't know. Grr. Had to jack up the car. There it is. Way back here. Hopefully I can wiggle that wire and it'll just fall out. There we go. I reached up in there and got it. Good deal. Try this again. There we go. All in. And again, that sucked. All right, we'll move everything from that regulator over to that regulator, and then we'll put it all on the car. Then we load a tune, and then Snake Eater sent me a sheet to put in HB tuners. And again, on that last video, you just take that fuel injector, the column for the fuel injector size, and you just highlight that whole table and do like, well, I'll show you. All right, everything's plugged back up. Different regulator. I went ahead and loosened the nut. That way, when I get the car started, I can come out here and adjust it. And you leave the vacuum line off when you're adjusting it, when you're setting it to base. All right, so you go to engine, fuel, and then down here, general. And what you want to do is this one right here. There's calculators online, and there are even some in my other video. But all right, and this is what I use for the injector flow. I set this to pound per hour. I use pound per hour. Make sure you're set to pound per hour if you do this in the tune also. They're 142 pound injectors. They're rated that at 43 psi. We're running 50 base pressure, motor running, no vacuum to the regulator. So they're actually 153, so I'll need to readjust that. These 142 pound injectors at 50 pounds of fuel pressure will read 152, and make sure you got this set to pounds per hour. But what I did was, this was saying 80 because I had that, it was like 84 for the 80 pound injectors. But you highlight the whole table, and what I do is I put 1.01 in there, and you just hit multiply until that end number at 80 reads what your injector's saying. There's a flow rate injector calculator online. I'll show you that too here in a minute. But yeah, just put 1.01, do the calculator, and then just keep hitting this multiplies button right there until that last column says what your injector size is. That's the best way to do it. I started with a stock tune and did it this way for 60 pound injectors, and then 80 pound injectors, and Now we got 142 pound injectors at 50 psi, which should be around 152. But we'll go ahead and load that up. Oh, also the rest of this stuff, not all this stuff was in the spreadsheet that he sent me, but most of it was. So what was in the spreadsheet that he sent me, I put in here, but what wasn't in there, I just left the same as it was. We'll start it up after we get the tune loaded, and then we'll check for leaks and set the fuel pressure with the vacuum unhooked. Oh, there it goes. Alright, let's see if it starts. I ain't been started in a while. Plus we emptied all that fuel out of the fuel rail. Primed the fuel rail a couple times. If you turn the ignition off and on it, you'll hear the fuel pump. There it goes, trying to start. We emptied all the fuel out of the fuel rail. We're gonna run the battery dead. Yep, battery charger time. Boy, that ding is driving me nuts. On the plus side, I don't see any fuel leaks out here. Alright, got it on 100 amp boost. That must not be enough fuel pressure or something. So the good thing about the LT1 cars, they got this little plug right here, and I can jump the fuel pump. I just stuck a metal wire down in there. That's metal solid wire. And then I got my alligator clip wire. See, and the pump turns on. And I can see what the fuel pressure is now and adjust as needed. And as I expected, I got no fuel pressure. I got 20. That needs to be 50. That's definitely the reason why it wasn't running. Where do I go? Well, that thing don't even work. You are kidding me. I'm turning and it's doing absolutely nothing. Yeah, that's all the way tight. I'll be dang. Look at that. That's the part number. That's a $90 fuel pressure regulator. This one was like 20 bucks. This one works. This one does not. Speedmaster, you let me down. And here's the pump I ordered off Summit, and it clearly says EFI. And then in the description it says 30 to 70 PSI. And this is the Amazon one that I ordered. Correction, it was 35 bucks, but it came with the fittings, and it came with a gauge. See, and that's the brand of this one. It's only like 30 bucks on Amazon. PQY Performance. And I actually like this one better because this lip holds the seal. Holds those rubber seals because they're Orb AN. This one don't have that, so when you put the Orb AN on there, you gotta be real careful because it kept smashing the seal out. I'd have to loosen it and try to straighten it and tighten it again. So that kind of sucks. See, I could easily blow through that one. I can't easily blow through this one. I can't blow through this one at all. Nope, nothing at all. This one I can blow right through it. Like nothing. Look at that. Back to 50 PSI. Sometimes you don't get what you pay for. Now let's see what it does. Just like that. This car runs like crap on E85 till it gets warmed up. Can't let it warm up because I got gas all over my turbo blanket, all over my header wrap. I'm afraid if I let it get too hot, it'll catch on fire, so you'll have to let that dry, but it starts. So there we go. Gonna have to start a return on my other fuel pressure regulator, Speedmaster. All right, check for leaks. All looks good. I don't see none. Check for leaks all around this. I don't see none. And then don't forget to hook your vacuum line back up. But yeah, that header wrap and that turbo blanket where I took all this stuff off, I mean, it got soaked in the 85. So I'm gonna give that at least a day to dry before I try to drive it. I'll tighten these fittings up and we're done.